Has anyone been keeping an eye on the 25th anniversary set celebrations lately? That set is on an absolute heater. And you know what? From a Pokemon investing standpoint, it really screams out one thing to me, and I'll share that one thing very shortly. But before I share that one thing, let's just have a look at what it's been doing. It's been going absolutely crazy. Let's jump in and have a look at the sealed product. So whether it's an Elite Trainer box, the UPC, a Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box, or any of the ancillary collection boxes, mini tins, whatever the sealed product is, they have been on an absolute heater. And probably the most important takeaway from the sealed product when we have it up on the screen here is what it's been doing since it's launched. One thing that Celebrations has done is sit stagnant for a very long time, or it's seen extremely slow growth for a very long time. And then all of a sudden, we've seen this absolute belt up in price. And you know, that's a pretty important takeaway in itself. But I'll share that really one important takeaway very shortly. But that's a takeaway in itself, in that just because something sits for a long period of time doesn't mean we're not going to see growth in the future. And that's what we've seen in Celebrations. It's just absolutely shot up to the moon in terms of sealed product. Not only has sealed product gone up, a lot of the singles have also shown a really similar trend. So of course there's two parts to this Pokemon card set. There's the standard series or the standard set, and it's not a big Pokemon card set. And then there's also the classic collection, which brought back a lot of cards from a lot of different eras in Pokemon and added its, 25th anniversary stamp to the card. Now that was one gripe for the set, and it's certainly a gripe of mine that I think the 25th anniversary stamp is just a little bit big. I would have liked it to be a touch smaller. Sort of like the Pokemon Center logo that you see in the Scarlet and Violet Pokemon Center promos. Just something nice and neat that just, separates it from another card, but it's not in your face, taking up too much of the card. Anyway, that's a very small gripe, but as you can see, a lot of the singles, whether it's the Charizard, the Gold Star Umbreon, the Mega Rayquaza, the Shiny Magikarp, all those top hits inside the set, the Gold Mew from the main era or the main set, they've all shot up in price and done a similar thing to what the sealed product has done, and that is sit pretty dormant for a long period of time and absolutely rocket up in price. Now, without making you wait any longer, the one really important takeaway that we can take away from this as sealed investors, or even singles investors if you like looking at the singles in the 25th anniversary, is that people's perception of a set can change over time. And the moment people's perception of that set changes, we get that massive herd mentality and we can see massive increases in price. Now, of course, there's other reasons why the sealed product and the singles have shot up in price from 25th anniversary. A, it's got some age on its side finally. B, there's cards inside here like Gold Star Umbreon and Mega Rayquaza that are getting outside influence. We all know how hot Gold Star's at the moment, so that adds value to the Umbreon. We all know how hot Mega cards are at the moment. XY era's off to an absolute boom because we have the new sets coming out with Mega Evolutions coming back. So there's some other outside influences adding to this massive price increase as well. But with all that in mind, we can basically summarize all that in this one little shell, which is a really important takeaway that I said before, that people's perception of a Pokemon card set can change over time. Fusion Strike is another example. When it first came out, everyone loved the Gengar. It was a top chase card. People were so-so about the Espeon. Yes, it was another chase card, but the same thing happened with Fusion Strike. It sat for like 2.5 to 3 years at a relatively low price, and now all of a sudden people go, oh, it's the second best set of Sword and Shield. When in reality, even when Silver Tempest was out and we knew that was our final booster box from Sword and Shield, no one was going Fusion Strike is the second best booster box in the whole Sword and Shield era. And it's the same thing with Celebrations. When Celebrations first came out, everyone was going, this is a really small set. The stamp's too big. The classic collection is meh, and none of the cards are really worth much. There's massive grading populations, like the PSA 10 Charizard is over 25,000 PSA 10s. It's too easy to grade, so there's no grading play to flip them and gem them as a 10 and make money that way. This set's sort of mid at best, is basically everyone's everyone's thoughts around that set. We all know that UPC was good because we had gold Charizard and gold Pikachu inside there from base set. Like, that was just always going to come out an absolute heater. It came out of the blocks an absolute heater. It was impossible to buy. It was incredibly expensive. Bots were buying it out everywhere. And it sat dormant for like, $400 to $500 for a long time. And same thing, that's also recently shot up in price to like $750. But the key takeaway is that people's perception can change over time. And that's a really, really important takeaway. Hey, look, there is an old saying, you can't polish a turd. If a Pokemon card set is just a bad Pokemon card set, it's not going to appreciate in value as much as a good Pokemon card set. But a lot of these sets that, people think are maybe mid-tier or, not as good as what they could be, if they do things like not cop reprints, get more fan sentiment thrown towards them over time, then we can see massive appreciation in them. That's why I don't think it's ever a bad idea. And this is probably the key message behind the whole video. I don't think it's ever a bad idea to diversify in your sealed Pokemon card products. Like, look, if you think it's a great set, like if I look at the whole Scarlet and Violet era, it's pretty clear, isn't it? The holiday sets are all pretty damn good, other than Shrouded Fable. But people's sentiments towards that set could change over time. But if we look at it objectively, we can go, okay, Prismatic Evolutions is an absolute heater, 151's an absolute heater, Paldean Fates has the Bubble Mew, which is an absolute heater. Like, you can't go wrong investing in any of those. If we look at all the booster boxes, we can go, okay, Destined Rivals, in my opinion, is clearly the best booster box. Surging Sparks is the second best booster box. It's a little bit of a fight for third place, but you go, okay, well, I might put a little bit more money into Destined Rivals, I might put a little bit more money into Surging Sparks, but there could be some of those mid-tier booster boxes where people's opinion of the sets just change over time. Keep in mind the Magikarp from Paldea Evolve at launch was $16 The top two chase cards were Iono and Iono. And look at it now. Bubble Mew, when it first came out, look at its price compared to what it is now. People's perception of cards and sets can change over time, and as a result, we can see massive, very rapid increases in price to sets. The best time to buy Celebration was at launch, but the second best time to buy it was literally like 6 months ago. Look at the appreciation you would have had on Celebrations if you'd bought it 6 months ago. And look, hindsight is a fantastic thing, but this set has just gone absolutely gangbusters in the last few months, essentially, hasn't it? And it's a very stark reminder to diversify our Pokemon investing portfolio, because although we might have the best intentions and think we have all the knowledge in the world, there are sets and there are sentiments towards sets that can just rapidly change. And that's something that Celebrations has seen lately. Well, that just about sums this video up. I will give a quick shout out to today's video sponsor, which is of course the Collector app. If you don't have it, there'll be a link in the description to download it. It's an amazing app. It's very simple to use. You can track your whole sealed and singles collection inside there. You can follow my journey down at the bottom, PokeOz there in the content creators section. And the big one now is it has set analytics. You can jump in and check any set. You can see total set value. You can look at the top hits. It'll show you what cards are hot at the moment, whether set value is moving or not. Just like Celebrations, set value has been moving in the upward direction. This is a fantastic app. Again, link in the description to download it. My name's Michael, PokeOz, and I'll catch everyone next time.